The key question is what significance these sanctions really are. I mean, sanctions have a patchy record at best. Is this merely symbolic from the US, or is there a real deterrence here?
Morning, Tom. Yes, that's right. We know so far they're targeting the drone and missile programs. That's, of course, specifically intended because that was the nature of this weekend attack that you mentioned. We know that EU is also planning similar moves, and I think it's reasonable to expect the UK would be thinking about it as well. But as you say, Iran has a long track record of dealing with sanctions. It's already very heavily sanctioned place. It's built this entire so-called resistance economy based on the idea of finding ways around them and making them work with links to countries like Russia and North Korea, with whom they can continue to develop those arms programs. I think the symbolism is much more important in this case. It's more of a diplomatic signal to Israel. It's saying, we, your allies, we're all here. We're acting immediately in the days after that attack. And therefore, perhaps, you don't need to go so hard in your planned military response to that attack. Take this as a message of support and feel reassured that we're here for your security.
Well, Patrick, on that point then, what more do we know right now about Israel's plans? They've been pretty clear. They say they will respond in some way. Do we have any more clarity?
Yeah, we had a story yesterday sort of outlining some of the potential scenarios. I think the key ones, stepping from least to most escalatory, would be something like a cyber attack or an attack on Iran's allies or proxies outside Iran, but in the region. Then you have more of like a missile strike within Iran on perhaps a military facility associated with that missile or drone program that was used over the weekend. And finally, at the very top, some kind of targeting of a nuclear-related facility in Iran, that obviously being the most escalatory. We don't know which way Israel is leaning among all of those. What we do know is that the War Cabinet's planned third meeting yesterday since the attack was postponed. So I think that perhaps just signals that, there is this space for deliberation. They're signaling they're not rushing in to a decision. In terms of security prospects, I think that does at least signal that they're very much open to moderating that response. But I think we can't underestimate the fact that they do feel they need to respond. They do feel they need to regain that deterrence and show some strength domestically as well.